very powerful piece of paper they're creating. They can buy all the services, all the commodities they want. So what we've got is an amalgamation, a conglomerate monopoly. It's just one monstrous monopoly called the establishment, and all those minions of the establishment that go along for one reason or another. Some witting, those are the most evil ones that know the scam, and they just dive head over heels into it, and they revel in it. They take advantage of it just to be a part of it and say, hey, this is my God, this is my master. I love money, I love the power, I love all the things that goes along with the establishment, because money is a big part of that. Or whether it's just all the unwitting people, all the ignorant people, the willfully ignorant people that choose to be stupid. They choose, well, you know what? That's just all too heavy. I have to believe that somehow this system that we've got makes sense. That somehow, we're really making progress. They'll think in their minds, they'll rationally, without thinking. They're unthinking morons is what they are. And, they want to blame the effect when they look at society and they see the crime rate and they see all the transient, the homeless people. They want to blame them. They want to hate them. They want to persecute them. So they go for the effect. They sicken me. Okay, I find them insufferable. I find that mentality unnerving. I find it anti-egalitarian and ungodly. Okay, use your conscience, folks. Nobody has to answer to me, but there is one that you will answer to. You will answer to the one that owns your soul. Not just your body, your soul. Okay? And if you die today, you better know which side of this battle you're on. Okay? Because there's only two sides when it comes right down to it. And the establishment represents a side of inhumanity. That's how they behave. They behave demonically. That's who's at the top. So if you're serving the establishment in whatever capacity you're doing it, remember who your God is. It's the God of this world. It's Satan. That's this whole money-based established reality, this system. It's the beast system. It's evil. And we've got to get away from it. If humanity is going to be free, not just some people free because of their abundance of money, of power, of serving the God of this world well and having done a good job, paid homage, okay, to the God of this world. But so that everybody can be free, everybody means your brothers and sisters, okay, then you're going to hell. That's where you're headed. If you're serving this system, you're serving Satan. So the other side is the side of humanity. That's a side of people that are egalitarian, that are willing to live as a family, equality, respecting each other, and saying, you know what, I want a level playing field. I don't want anybody to have an advantage, even if that means the advantage is mine. I don't want it. I want to be pure in His sight. I want a clean heart. I want to inherit a better world. I want my offspring to inherit a better world. I want you to inherit a better world and your children. That's why I do what I do. I try to encourage people to come out of Babylon, come out of confusion, be honest with yourself. Better late than never to jump ship. And all I mean by jump ship is to repent or perish, okay? Sometimes I feel like I'm pissing in the wind. I really do. I feel like I'm talking to nobody out there. But the ideas get through, even if on a subliminal level, because I've tapped into what all I'm doing is tapping into what He has put on my heart. When I ask you to reveal truth to me, I want things to make sense. I want to keep it simple. I want to understand economics. I want to understand why the problems never seem to go away. They only seem to grow. And when you ask these fundamental questions, you'll get answers. You'll get the same answers I've gotten. And what it comes down to is that all these people, these establishmentarians, they're all part of the world. They're not only in the world, like we're all stuck here in this system, on this planet, but we're not all of the world. You see, if you're an establishmentarian, you're of the world. And if you're working in the criminal injustice system, what I call, then it's not in your interest to end poverty. And you may only know that on a subliminal level. You might say, well, yeah, I get it. You see, I know, for matter of fact, that most of the crime is being committed because people are financially desperate. So they do, a laundry list, a myriad of different crimes. They you know, in order to have some money so that they can what? They can survive. Okay, that's what they're trying to do. They're desperate. Unless you're just greedy. I mean, look at the biggest criminals out there, and they just go free because they dress in nice suits, because they hold these positions that have a title, like the Federal Reserve bankers. I mean, how much money does Ben Bernanke have, or Alan Greenspan? And look what they've done to us. Look what they've done. They've put us in debt to China, no less, folks. A miserable country like China, where they've got total slave labor is legitimized there. They've got to put suicide nets up to keep their workers from killing themselves. Okay, they have so many executions every year. They've got mobile execution vans driving around to get the fresh organs to sell on the black market. Folks, we shouldn't ought to be in debt to, and look who's done it to us. Democrats and Republicans, like the Clintons, like the Bushes, okay, like the Reagans and the Nixons. Okay, these are the people that have done it to us. Like the Bernankes and the Greenspans. That's who's done it to us. And all these Congress and all these senators, they vote themselves raises. They don't give a crap what they do to your cost of living by just whoring themselves out to the money printers. They know which side their bread is buttered on. You bet they're whoring themselves out to the money printers. They're supposed to be serving the true government, which is we the people who hired them to do a job for us. And they've just backstabbed us. They've betrayed the people by debasing our currency through cost of living inflation without any accountability. None of these major criminal gangsters going to jail. None of the Bernankes or the Greenspans or the Clintons or the Bushes are in jail. But they ought to be. They ought to be. And even if they said, well, you know what, I would have got killed if I... Then don't do the job if you're a coward, damn it! We're sick of you people. We're figuring it out. That poverty is invented. It's artificial. Okay? We know what you do. We know how you roll. And if there's not enough energy, and if we're overpopulated like you say, and you've got to impose austerity in order to save the earth, then you go to rationing. And you elitist scum get the same ration as me or a third world child, damn it. And it's not going to be based on price fixing, because that's what's done now. You people sicken me. You don't care how high prices go. You just print out more money. You politicians just give yourselves a raise. It's scandalous. It's criminal. You should all be in jail. I'm sick. I'm fed up with you people. And you know what? How fed up I am isn't important, but it's how fed up he is. Okay? And there's going to come a time when he can't restrain himself anymore. And for the sake of the righteous and decent people who are just being pitchforked, you know, just being strangled out there, okay? He's going to come, and he's going to mete out justice on this earth, and he's going to separate the wicked from the righteous, just like a shepherd separates his sheep from his goats. That's how it's written. That's exactly what's going to happen. Or just like a gardener separates the weeds from the cultivars. Okay, and the weeds go out to be burned. That's what's going to happen. It's coming. So I'm warning everybody, I'm your best friend. If I'm talking to elitist scum out there, remember, guys like me are your best friend. I'm the one that's giving you warning. I'm not the one that's going to say, just go along, it's okay, everything's fine, and then let you fall into a pit headlong, okay? No, I'm the guy that's saying, you have an opportunity. I don't know if you're too far gone, but all you can do is try. All you can do is say, God, you know what? I don't want to serve the beast anymore. I don't want to serve the system. I don't know who's out there. I could be talking to the president. I could be talking to nobody. I could be talking to a peasant. But you know, the message is the same thing, because a lot of poor people are evil in their hearts if they're covetous, just like it's written. So, you know, you've got to be very circumspect here. You've got to really care about the supreme opinion. Never think that you or anybody else could ever be smarter than God. Okay? Because that's a common mistake I see out there, is people think somehow they're going to wriggle out of this thing, and they're going to say, well, it makes sense in this sense because we've been inculcated in this direction. We've been corralled, and so we've just got to go with the flow and go with the system. If you can't beat them, join them. This sort of attitude. No, no, no. We've got to have one thing, freedom for all. Universal prosperity is the way to have freedom. You understand? A level playing field. No advantage, disadvantage paradigm anymore. That has to go. So how do we get there from here? And there's one fundamental thing that you will absolutely need, and it is sound currency. Okay, and it's not here for the long run, but it's a means to an end, is sound currency. This is why it's the one thing they won't let us have, because sound currency would gradually solve all our problems. Do you understand? Because they could not do price fixing. And if there was real famine in the land, that's all the shortage is based on. In supply and demand, okay, if you've got a shortage of something, then you say, hey, we got to hustle and create more of that thing because we're running out of it. Or if we're really running out of it, like they say, we're going to run out of oil. We've reached peak oil. So this is the big concern. Really, we're just using the climate destruction as a facade, for what we're really doing. Here is that we're trying to hoard this stuff because the Earth's running out of oil. Then we've got to find alternative energies. And there's plenty of them out there, infinite clean energies. But is that in the interest of the dirty energy companies? No, it's not at all. They would like to keep things going the way they are in perpetuity. It's the same with the banking industry, the debt industrial complex. You know what I mean? It's just like people learning on their own the truth and it's finding out that, hey, I can learn as much of this as, if I want to learn physics, I can learn it on my own. I just pick up books. This is my interest. This is what I want to do. Like an Einstein or a Tesla, okay? And you can go as far as you want in science. You don't need the universities and colleges, but you need to read books. You need to study from the people that have come before you and have written about these things, okay? But the technology is there, but it's not in the interest of these people that you have it. The same with the crime industrial complex, the poverty industrial complex, all these good jobs. In the, now that there's all these poor people, well, we need Section 8 workers, we need all these, social welfare services like food stamps, and it goes on and on and on, all these people employed with good governmental jobs. So it's not in their interest to solve the problem. And the vast majority of forest fires out there, Mother Nature started. We should let these things burn. That's nature's way of thinning the underbrush. Okay, the artificial ones, I'm all in favor for putting out any that, that threaten structures or, property. But the other ones are Mother Nature starting them. And I could go on all day with one evil industrial complex that's a part of this, just the conglomerate, this amalgamation of monopoly. This is just a one beast, giant beast monopoly called the society, the established society. Okay, so what sound currency? You understand how this would work, folks? Is it's really very simple. And as we produce more, your price for commodities goes down. Energy costs would constantly be going down as we found free energy that required less and less labor. So eventually it'd just be free for that commodity. The same would go for food, okay? Because all the people that say, hey, well, I need the money for that food. I'm working at a grocery store or I'm a farmer, okay? But as your wealth grew, and so your cost of living was always in decline, you would need less and less. You say, I've got all this money, I don't need any more advantage. It's sound currency, you understand? So it makes currency, money itself, irrelevant. That's how it would happen for everybody. Right now with this system they call capitalism, it's anti-capitalism, it's anti-free market, because two fundamental truths about capitalism is that it involves risk and it involves competition. And we don't have either thing. With price fixing, it's just groups. Let's say you've got 5 big oil companies, and they're all engaged in price fixing. So we don't need one giant monopoly oil company. We just need these 5 groups colluding together. That's how it is. It's like that, like the housing industrial complex, the rental industrial complex. Okay, is it in your landlord's interest that suddenly you're able to buy your own home and you're out from under his thumb and you don't need him anymore? That's the last thing your landlord wants, is for you to be set free in that regard. Do you get, folks, how fundamentally simple all this stuff is? You know, we've gone the opposite direction of supply and demand principles. Okay, this is what unsound currency will bring you. So it doesn't matter how productive the people are, you can still see your cost of